So we have to write the summary of a literary text. And the first thing to do is to determine what the theme and the main idea or ideas are. This can be quite challenging because the ideas implied by the author are not clearly stated, or at least they are rarely clearly stated. So we as readers have to infer them. And I would like to show one possible way of doing it. But first we shall read James Thurber's modern fable, The Rabbits Who Caused All the Trouble. Within the memory of the youngest child, there was a family of rabbits who lived near a pack of wolves. The wolves announced that they did not like the way the rabbits were living. The wolves were crazy about the way they themselves were living, because it was the only way to live. One night, several wolves were killed in an earthquake, and this was blamed on the rabbits, for it is well known that rabbits pound on the ground with their hind legs and cause earthquakes. On another night, one of the wolves was killed by a bolt of lightning, and this was also blamed on the rabbits, for it is well known that lettuce eaters cause lightning. The wolves threatened to civilize the rabbits if they didn't behave, and the rabbits decided to run away to a desert island. But the other animals who lived at a great distance shamed them, saying, "You must stay where you are and be brave. This is no world for escapists. If the wolves attack you, we will come to your aid in all probability." So the rabbits continued to live near the wolves, and one day there was a terrible flood which drowned a great many wolves. This was blamed on the rabbits, for it is well known that carrot nibblers with long ears cause floods. The wolves descended on the rabbits for their own good and imprisoned them in a dark cave for their own protection. When nothing was heard from the rabbits for some weeks, the other animals demanded to know what had happened to them. The wolves replied that the rabbits had been eaten, and since they had been eaten, the affair was a purely internal matter. But the other animals warned that they might possibly unite against the wolves unless some reason was given for the destruction of the rabbits. So the wolves gave them one. "They were trying to escape," said the wolves, "and as you know, this is no world for escapists." Moral: run, don't walk to the nearest desert island. So now let's see what can do. The suggestion I would make is try to deduce the theme and the main idea of the story by examining, for example, the nouns that are repeated. And in this particular fable, we see that the noun wolves and rabbits is repeated. Now we have to think about these two groups of animals. What kind of animals are they? Can they peacefully coexist in nature? I don't think so, right? And already we can sense a conflict. Another thing we shall just keep in mind is that the author speaks about a pack of wolves, right? Which means that there are many wolves there, and a family of rabbits, which implies that this group consisted of fewer members. So we see the conflict that is happening between a majority group and a minority group. We can also have a look at the verbs that are repeated, and we're going to see that the verb blame is repeated several times. So we sense that the majority group puts the blame on the rabbits for everything that is happening to them. Now, we can say that the theme of the story is discrimination, and the main idea can be roughly formulated in the following way. A bigger social group is more powerful than a smaller one. As a result, the more powerful group has prejudice against the minority group, destroying the latter, thinking that this would solve all their problems. Okay, now having determined what the theme and the main idea are, we can write our summary and we can have something of the kind. The fable, The Rabbits Who Caused All the Trouble by James Thurber, deals with the issue of discrimination. On the example of a family of rabbits living near a pack of wolves, the author wanted to emphasize the way a minority group can suffer the injustice of being punished for a crime they did not commit. The wolves in James Thurber's fable did not like the rabbits' way of life, constantly looking for a reason to exterminate them. When another natural disaster happened, the wolves killed the rabbits and got away with it. The fable emphasizes the importance of self-initiative and agency, especially when one's life is in jeopardy. Yeah, indeed, in such situations, in quite a lot of cases, one has to rely on oneself. They say God helps those who help themselves. So this is a way of determining the theme and the main ideas in a short story, in a literary text, and how it can be incorporated in the summary.